Oh, honey. When the left accuses 80 million Americans of being mentally ill just for voting for Trump, you know we've reached a peak in delusion. But Karoline Leavitt, y'all, she wants all the smoke, baby. She didn't flinch. She grabbed that podium, okay, like she do best, and dropped a verbal nuke on Jasmine Crockett's entire career. We're going to look into it because this ain't the typical press secretary. This is a woman who came ready with facts, fire, and zero tolerance in liberal nonsense. With that being said, y'all, let's go ahead and dive into the first clip. Karoline is the best press secretary ever. Coming straight from Ricky Doggin on X. If y'all want to follow this person, let's dive into the clip. Let's go.
Really quick on Jasmine Crockett. She said, I believe, that Trump supporters are mentally ill before calling for bipartisan support against the president. Can you respond to that, especially considering she's a rising star in the Democrat Party right now?
She is a rising star. It's quite something to behold, actually. I hope that she continues to be a rising star for the Republican Party, at least. I think it's incredibly derogatory to accuse nearly 80 million Americans of mental illness. The last time I checked, Jasmine Crockett couldn't dream of winning such a majority of the public as President Trump did. And the America First movement, which President Trump has built, is filled of hardworking patriots, the forgotten men and women, business owners, law enforcement officers, nurses and teachers, and middle America, as we all know, from where you all grew up, outside of this beltway. That's who makes up this president's movement. And Jasmine Crockett should go to a Trump rally sometime, and she can see it for herself.
Okay.
Jennifer.
One on North Korea and one on China. On North Korea, they launched some rockets into the ocean.
Seriously, y'all see my signs in the back. I've been the one. Y'all cannot sit here and tell me that MAGA is evil, baby. Because I know the lies. I've been to a Trump rally. Okay? I love the fact that Karoline flips the mental illness right back on Jasmine Crockett and that side. Because as y'all know and as we see, that's where the mental illness is coming from. Not only that, she reframes the MAGA movement as composed of everyday American heroes, because that's what they are. That's what we are at the end of the day. Okay? We be handling y'all with class. Just go look up the videos, y'all, and look at all these videos coming from the left. They all got nose piercings, green, red, purple, blue, orange hair, looking unhealthy because of the TDS. It's eating away at their souls, y'all. It's not MAGA. They can't stand MAGA because MAGA is a movement. MAGA comes in numbers. Okay? Different colors, shapes, and sizes. And we all love and we love hard. And they mad that we got our boy Trump's back 100% because we trust him. Okay? Now, with that being said, y'all, let's go ahead and school Jasmine Crockett because a lot of people are just like sick and tired of her talking out the side of her neck. No class, no nothing. So we're going to get into it coming straight from Dorian Linder on X. That's Dory Linder on X if y'all would like to follow her. Jasmine Crockett gets a history lesson from Allen West. Black Americans started the Republican Party in Texas. Let's dive into the clip, y'all.
Colonel Allen West was on the All American talk show, and he torched Jasmine Crockett. Now, he said he lives, I believe, in Jasmine Crockett's district.
From us, a little history lesson. The largest state Republican Party in the United States of America is out of the state of Texas, correct?
Yes.
The Republican Party of Texas was founded on Independence Day of 1867 by 150 black men in Houston, Texas. So I think she needs to study her history. While black men were creating the Republican Party of Texas, white Democrats were creating the Ku Klux Klan in Texas. And Juneteenth was also something that was the enablement of the Emancipation Proclamation back in June 19th of 1865, when black soldiers landed there at Galveston, and the Union General announced that the slaves were finally free. So she needs to do a little bit of studying. But when I hear her talk about this inherently racist and all of this type of stuff, one of the things she needs to realize is that 12 or 14 border counties in the state of Texas went for Donald Trump in the last election.
Yep. Right.
That's all along the Rio Grande. And that's not, majority white area down there. The other thing she needs to understand is, why are we looking at this redistricting in the state of Texas? Two reasons. Number one, back in 2022, when we started the census, guess what was happening? Joe Biden had come into office and he opened up the borders. And so we had a flood of people coming into the United States of America, and definitely Texas, which has 1,249 miles of border. And the Democrats, her party, wanted these people to be counted in the census. Not citizens, but they wanted everybody. Numbers, people here illegally. Now, that is really unconstitutional, because citizens are supposed to be the ones represented. And that's the whole purpose of having a census, is to make sure that we are apportioning districts the right way. The other thing,
stop you there for a second? It always reminds me, whenever you hear this, and I'm curious what you have to say, of the reason we had the 3/5 compromise in the first place. Because the slaveholders wanted to count their slaves a full person.
Absolutely.
So
Down
they could have
south.
more power.
Absolutely.
And now the Democrats want to count illegal aliens.
So they have more power.
It's the same playbook, only a couple hundred years later.
Yes.
Democrats love slaves. They love anybody they can manipulate. And you see what they're doing, the same thing they did many generations ago. They're doing it again.
Massa always needs slaves to plow the land.
Oh my God.
Always. And they always looking for free labor. But look, to your bigger point, every law, bill, whatever, amnesty act or whatever, there are always unintended consequences. And there's always consequences that are not even known at the time that could possibly, come about later for the manipulation of whatever the law is. That's a principle that applies across the board. Mm-hmm. Nevertheless, this is the United States of America. The government, if you will, they work for us, not the other way around. And most Americans are sick of these illegal aliens, and they want them deported. Most Americans are supporting Tom Homan, Kristi Noem, and all of these ICE agents. They want them deported. And most Americans, I contend, are sick of these Marxist, leftist, progressives known as the Democrat Party.
Yeah. And
Okay, y'all. So y'all want to follow her TikTok? That is Angel Mel 1985. So let's talk, y'all. Now let's talk about Jasmine Crockett and how she tried to lecture Texas about the map and the history, and immediately got burned by Lieutenant Allen West, because he knows his history. This man literally broke down Black history in 60 seconds, and then she did all month, y'all. I'm talking about toe in that ass, okay? Like, he just fact-checked her and dragged her through 150 years of receipts. Jasmine, please take several seats and give up that one that we working hard for you to lose. Because again, you're unworthy of the seat. People are sick and tired of you. How does that feel? How does that feel? Now, with that being said, y'all, I know Texas is going through it. You got folks like libtards sitting here making prank calls. Upset. Because again, Trump administration, we the people got these folks in they feels. Okay? They in they feels hard, y'all. With that being said, it's bringing me to the last clip coming straight from Clara Patriot on X, if y'all would like to follow her. Newt Bag, leftist, calls Republican representative and cusses them out because they mad. They don't know no other way either. Let's be real. They don't. They go to the internet, they cry, they scream, they yell, they curse, and they think that they can get their point across. The whole time, we the people sit back just laughing at them. Mental illness is real. Okay? It is real. And these folks seriously have a TDS. They do. They got it. They got it bad. With that being said, y'all, I want to know y'all thoughts. Drop them in the comment section. Shout out to Karoline for putting the MAGA on the map. Yes, if Trump ever does another rally or whatnot, go. Don't let these folks lie to you and call the MAGA people Nazis and all of the above, because they're not. They're not. You will have a great time. Trust me. I know. With that being said, y'all, let's go ahead and dive into this clip.
Hi, I just wanted to let the orange sucking traitor know that he's an embarrassment to the state. Oh, I'm calling back. Nope. Hi, can you tell your coworker it's rude to hang up on her employer? Let her know that that's unacceptable to hang up on your employer.
And it's acceptable for your employer to get on the phone and cuss you out? The party of mental stability, folks.
The whole country can't wait. You're going to prison.
You absolutely do not speak on behalf of the whole country.
You're so embarrassing. And just so you know, it's recorded and it's going on the internet. Traitor. What's your name? What's your name? You're not embarrassed? Tell us your name. What's your name?
Bye.
What's your name? That was Speaker Dustin Burrows' office in Texas.
Someone's embarrassing, but I'm not sure it's the person you were on the phone with. But you're so accepting, you're so loving, oh my gosh. Except if anybody doesn't agree with you or things are not going your way, this is how you act. I don't seem to remember anybody on our side acting like that when Biden was in office. Do any of you?
Nope.
Do any of you seem to remember somebody getting on the internet and making prank calls all day? I feel sorry for these people that have to answer the phone, and I'm sure this happens with more than just her because these people are so mentally stable. Let me know what you guys think of this in the comments,
Crazy.
and this is just for entertainment.